part 2 of my vlog about leaving Disney and my experience leaving the program from the time I got back on. I was supposed to be there May through the beginning of January, and I left in August, and I got back just in time for school. Last semester, I always had that thought in the back of my mind, like, I could be at Disney right now. I could be there. Right now I would be watching fireworks, and, you know, whenever something bad kind of happened here, it just brought me back to Disney and made me feel like, well, if I wasn't here right now, I'd be there and things would be better, and it just wasn't a very good, like, mental thing for me to go through. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It was a wonderful experience. I absolutely loved my job, but I was lonely, and the loneliness completely took me over and really was difficult for me to deal with. Seeing pictures on Facebook constantly, seeing advertisements all over campus for the college program, and then just my little interactions with people on campus. Oh, you're back? I thought you weren't supposed to be here yet. The biggest thing, I guess, that I struggled with after coming back is just, it's difficult having such a huge part of my life that affected me so deeply emotionally that my friends back at home cannot relate to at all. You know, they haven't been to Florida or Disney World. They don't know what it's like in the tunnels. They don't know what I went through being on my feet all day, being in thousands of pictures and videos. I still had that Disney magic in me too that made people kind of think I was weird. I got pixie dusted my last day of work, so I was obviously super sparkly and glittery and whatever, and so just seeing like my little sparkles rub off on people, in my head I would just be like, that is from inside the real Disney castle in Florida, like that's Tinkerbell's pixie dust, and they're just like, yeah, I have a sparkle on my head, I really don't care. I had all these newfound princess makeover skills that I learned while I was there. I can do all the Disney hairstyles from the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and I spent a lot of money on like hair gel and accessories and products so I could do princess makeovers for all of my friends. Unfortunately, not all of my friends had the same desire to get their hair done that I did. But you know, I was able to do 3 princess makeovers since the time that I've been back, and that makes me really happy. I did my roommate's hair, I did my other best friend's hair, and right at New Year's Eve, I finally convinced my mom to let me do her hair. And it's hard to describe the magical, like, fairy godmother voice to people. You can watch my other video on my YouTube page if you want to see, like, how I interacted with the girls. But, I really developed a different, like, magical voice while I was out there. So I had my moments where I would just slip into it and just be like, oh, princess! And people would just really look at me weird. Obviously, it was just with my close friends and everything, but they just couldn't relate, they didn't understand it, and they thought I was weird. The culture shock was not easy to process. I had so many flashbacks of, like, magical moments that happened while I was at Disney. I can feel the Florida humidity on me and think about my old apartment. I can feel that awful hard bed I had to sleep on, and my costume, my name tag, securing that stupid headpiece I had to wear. Those blisters on my feet, they're still not totally healed. Standing up for 12.5 hours a day was not fun. So I had those moments when I got really excited and tried to explain something, and then I realized, like, my friends weren't there. They don't understand what I'm saying, and they don't really care. Many events happened, too, that were just really surreal for me, because I had thought about what those events would be like if I was still out in Florida. Like my roommate's birthday, and Halloween, and Thanksgiving, and Christmas. And it's interesting trying to compare the loneliness that I experienced with the loneliness that my friends back at home experienced while I was gone. My friends back at home obviously had their other friends and their family with them, but me, I was completely all the way in Florida, completely by myself, didn't know anyone, and I just had those moments where I was like, this is it. This is what I've been, like, hoping for the past few months. Like, those lonely nights when I would drive home from work, just tears streaming down my face. Like, I'm here. I'm actually here with my family and friends. Like, what? It's really weird to me to think about how a simple choice can so drastically influence someone's life. It was weird thinking my college program would have gone till January. So that whole period, like August through, December, was just totally surreal. It was like I was in this Arizona dream, but then I wasn't waking up. The homesickness that was so terribly painful and intense in Florida is now, like, totally gone. It's just weird thinking back on how difficult it was for me to process and how painful it was when I'm like, Now things are like back to normal, but now I really do have such a great appreciation for my blessings here, for the people in my life, all of it. It does make me wonder, though, how things would have been different if I would have stayed until January. And it would have taken time for me to recover, but if I would have stayed, like, I would have been okay, right? Yeah, there were a lot of closed doors when I came back. I had this thought in my head of, like, I need to take advantage of every single possibility and opportunity that I have here that I wouldn't have had if I would have been in Florida right now. So I started a fitness challenge, I auditioned to be on worship teams, I joined the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, I joined a local church. I did all kinds of awesome things that I wanted to do, just so I would kind of feel better about the fact that I'm here and can't go back to Disney. But the thing that I've really been realizing lately is Disney is the first of many goodbyes. Now that I'm back, it's great that we're all together, but it's definitely not going to be this way forever. My best friend talks about getting married and moving to Colorado as if it's totally nothing, when in my head moving away was just a life-changing experience. So, I mean, I hope I can be a part of the future of my friends, and I'm sure I will be. It'll just be different. Realistically, I chose relationships over a dream job. And I wonder, in the future, if I would make that same decision again. Over and over again in my head, I was just like, why can't I have both? Why can't I work inside the Disney castle and just transport all my friends and family and my school and everyone there? Like, that would be my dream life. It's also weird realizing that I have the power to make adult decisions. If I wanted to, I totally could move back to Florida after I graduate. And really, all of my life I've been in this Arizona bubble. And this magical, incredible summer that I had just opened my eyes to the beauty of the world. Just seeing different cultures, people from all around the world. That road trip from Florida to Arizona, just so cool. There's so much green, and there's so much rain, and there's so much excitement. Like, my roommates were from Kentucky and Mississippi, and they saw rain all the time, but me being from Arizona, it's like 115 here usually, so I would just like stare out the window and be like, let's go play in the rain, and they would be like, how serious are you? I don't know, some of it, there's some closure that I wish I had that I don't really have. I'm still curious, like, if I were to apply for another college program in the future, or if I were to decide to go back and work there after I graduate, would they rehire me? I mean, Cinderella's castle is quite a job to have, and I don't know. I really don't. And I didn't fail my internship. It's so easy for me to have these feelings of failure since I did leave early, but I'm remembering I had a very successful summer. That's what I need to look back and remember. I'm proud to say that I'm still a dreamer. The Disney internship has just opened my eyes to many different career possibilities and places I could possibly live in the future and things I could do with my degree. I have a year and a half left of school, which is crazy. So, with student teaching coming up and everything, who knows? I have no clue what I'm gonna do, but it's coming up soon. It was so much fun having that thrill and that excitement from having that dream to chase back like a year ago when I was applying for the program and putting all of my thoughts and energy into it. And so now it's time for me to find a new dream. I know I have a lot of learning and a lot of growing to do, and I don't want to look back and regret anything. That's something I'm definitely working on. Those habits of kind of like isolating myself in my room when I was at Disney, I mean, they sort of carried over when I came back, but they're slowly being broken. I'm doing a whole lot better. I felt a lot of stress and pressure, feeling like I have to document everything that happened while I was there. I can't ever forget this Disney experience. I can't ever forget how to do the hairstyles. I can't ever forget what it felt like to go on that ride and to do this and to do that. And so I have all these thoughts swimming in my head, but I'm working and I'm at school, and so with all of these memories and everything that's happened, I've definitely journaled a whole lot more than I ever have in the past, and it's great just getting it out on paper, and someday I'll be able to share it with people, you know? So my next video, I guess, will just be like an update of where I am currently at in January.